All right, we're going to raise the single arm, stepping out slightly to the right. We're going to breathe in. Right hand switches to the top as if holding a pearl, and then pushing down with the left and raising with the right, still breathing in. And then exhale with the ha sound for releasing that little extra bit of fire. And then we will breathe in again. Now the left hand goes on top, still breathing in. After doing that about 4 to 8 times, we'll then switch to a different sacred sound. We'll breathe in. Shoo. And shu is for the spleen and the earth element. We'll breathe in again. Shoo. This next movement is looking back for alleviation of the 5 strains and 7 impairments. And so we'll step out slightly to the right, right hand and left hand over top. And then we'll go ahead and start to look back and breathe in. As we do this, we will be thinking the sacred sound, ah. We will not be saying it. And then I start to breathe out as I come back in. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking of the sacred sound Aum for manifestation. And then I will breathe in and look back, thinking ah. And then breathe out and pulling in health and longevity and thinking Aum for manifestation. So whatever I think about in that moment, good rule of thumb is health and longevity, is what I'm going to manifest, because Aum is the sound of manifestation. So breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. You can go slow or as fast as you want here. The other key note in this one is when I'm looking back, I'll do it from the side. I can look down, I can look towards the middle, or I can look up. So you might see my head does this, and my eyes will traverse that line. So each time I'm looking back, I might look in a different direction. Rule of thumb, I like to look down first, then medium, straight line across, and then up. And just do that 8 times. So this is the beginning of the hand-to-heart Qigong. It's broken up into sections, and this first section is going to be the tapping section. And we're going to start with the top chop. So I'll have my hands roughly heart level, okay? And I'm going to then tap the inside, so my index fingers and thumb area together. That's the top chop. Now each of these tapping or chopping movements, I want to do anywhere from 24 to 36 times. But that being said, I don't want to get hyperfixated on the numbers. Ideally, I'm looking for the sensation of maybe some tingling, some heat, as that's really where the qi is moving then. Yi dao, qi dao. Where your mind goes, the energy flows. So after I'm done with top chopping, I will go to bottom chopping. And now I'll be smacking the knife edge of my hand, really the pinkies and the side of the palm there together. Okay. Again, another 24 to 36 times, not worrying about the numbers. If I worry too much about the numbers, it takes away from the energetic flow. I'm taking my mind to a different space at that point. And then we're going to do wrist tapping. So, looks like I'm holding a ball almost, and I'm going to just collide my wrists together. Again, 24 to 36 times. And I can also sort of twist and turn it so I get all sides of my wrist there. And when I'm done with that, then I will do the thumb web here, okay? So this is called like the tiger's mouth in a lot of kung fu. So I'm just gonna collide that together. And again, this is still around heart level. We wanna keep our hands there ideally. Actually helps with circulation as well. So another 24 to 36 times. And you can go as fast or as slow as you like. And you do both sides, right? So I switch it eventually. Then I'm going to collide the intercostal spaces of my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to do that another 24 to 36 times. And I don't have to slam them super hard. You can just, lightly collide them too. You can go slow. You can go faster. Just find a pace that's reasonable for you. We're going to do fingertip tapping. So you can make a crane's beak if you'd like and tap all the fingers together. Or you can have them like this, sort of like an evil villain. So just tapping those together. Okay. And again, 24 to 36 times. I like to do the crane's beak. I feel like I can get a little bit more pressure out of that. It's a little bit bigger target to strike, right? Otherwise I'm like slipping. Okay. And then after fingertip tapping, we're going to do the tapping of the back of the hands. So we're just going to tap the backs of the hands, and I'm going to go up and down my hand. So starting at the base and going up and just making sure I'm tapping the whole back of it. And when I feel like I've gotten the left side good enough, then I'll switch. And again, around 24 to 36 times. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to guide the chi there. And then finally, palm clapping. So I'm going to open up my fingers just a little bit, sort of pull them back, right? I'm just clapping the palms. And you can go in circles if you like. You can come in and out and just play with it. Then I'm going to stretch. And that is the tapping set. This is the second set to the hand-to-heart Qigong, which will be followed immediately after we do the tapping set. And so we're going to do an acupressure set. So the first point that we're going to hit is the pericardium here, in the middle of the palm, the worker's palace, Lao Gong. And I'm just going to massage that point, so pressing into it. And you can start with left or right hand. I always start with the left. Maybe it's the military in me. But I might massage it for roughly 10 seconds. At the end of this massage, I'm going to press into it, and like a cork letting out energy, it's going to pop. Okay, so I'm going to pull my thumb off, sort of like I'm popping a cork of champagne. Then I will move to the second point, which is on the meaty part of my thumb here. And I'll just massage that. And you can go in circular patterns, you can go up and down. We're just trying to stimulate that acupressure point. And then pop. Now on the back, you'll feel where the two bones sort of connect here on the meatier part of the hand there. And I'm just going to sort of go in that little crevice, and I'm going to then massage that point. And again, roughly like for 10 seconds or so, and then pop. And then on the inside of the hand here, right below the pinky, almost on the line here, on your heart line, if you're doing palmistry. Palmistry. Okay. And I'm going to massage that point. I'm going to really sort of dig in there. And then, and just like the others, like a cork, pop. Then I switch hands. So let's do the same on my other hand. Pop. 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 Immediately following the acupressure set, then we will do the massage set. Okay, and we're going to first start with just massaging the tendons up. So we'll start with our thumb, right from the base of the wrist up, then to the index, middle, ring, and pinky. And we're gonna do that 3 times. And make sure this has got some good pressure to it. You know, we're really trying to guide that blood in there. And then we're gonna switch to our right hand. And we'll do that 3 times for each. Following that, we'll then do the back. And so this one is a little special. We're gonna massage 3 times on each, but we're going to be doing the outside of that bone, the top of the bone, and then the side of the bone. So it's side, top, side, side, top, side, side, top, side. Sort of like you're climbing a ladder. So I would press down to the wrist from the knuckle, then on top of the bone, then the other side. The side of the index, or not index, but the ring, top of the ring, side of the ring, side of the middle, top of the middle, side of the middle, side of the index, top of the index, side of the index, and then side of the thumb, top of the thumb, side of the thumb. And then we switch. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then finally, we'll be doing some shimmying and popping. So it's very much like a massage. So I'm going to grasp that knuckle, and I'm going to sort of shimmy and massage down the sides, and then I'll reset and I'll pull down the top. Now at the end of it, I sort of want to pull off with a little pop. And that gets the little acupressure point at the end of it, a little well of energy there, ideally to then pop and activate. So then I'm going to massage down the sides of the finger, index, and then top. Middle, side and top, ring, side and top, pinky, side and top. Then I'll do the same on the right hand. And this should feel pretty good. Should be ideally pulling heat and blood into the fingers. And so another thing that hand-to-heart Qigong is good for is for folks with arthritis. And in the past, there's been stories of people actually, I wouldn't say reversing their arthritis, but healing it immensely, just doing something like this. So that is the end of our massage set. This last part is the energy gathering part of the set. So it's a bit more dynamic and fast-paced. Of course, we'll break it down movement by movement right now. So we will begin by clapping, then quickly and briskly sort of washing the hands, if you will, right? Rubbing them back and forward, trying to start that friction fire. And then the first movement is we splash down roughly 10 times. So we're really flinging the hands. Okay. Second movement is we're going to clap and then wash the hands again, or try to start that fire. And then we're going to, one hand up, one hand down, we're going to squeeze and open the hands roughly 10 times, and then we'll switch. And then we're going to do the third one, so we'll clap and wash again, and then we're going to do the chi wave, and we just wave. Yeah, just, hey everybody. You don't have to do that part of it, that's just me being goofy. And then finally, we're gonna wash again, and then we're gonna pulse them forward. So we're just trying to pulse sort of from that middle of the hand point again. And you might pulse for 15, 20 times or so, or maybe like 10 seconds. And then we'll just start to sort of feel that energy in the hands, right? We've done a lot of like stimulating of acupressure points, massaging, pulling the blood to the hands, eat out, cheat out, right? The blood transfers chi. And so, you know, you might start to feel a little bit of an energetic push between the palms, but I just encourage you to breathe and just sort of feel what you feel. There's probably gonna be a lot of tingling, a sensation of heat, but eventually you'll start to create sensitivity, and you can start to feel that almost pushing between the hands. But you can play with that and make a little chi ball if you'd like, right? Just sort of float it in and out. Chi rises and it falls, and just play with it, get curious. But when you're done, hands just come to your side, and that is the culmination of the hand-to-heart Qigong, prepping you for other potentially healing practices. This is the hand-to-heart Qigong from beginning to finish, full speed. We broke it down in the videos prior, but I wanted to demonstrate it at least full speed. So this next Duan Jin movement is shake the head and twist the trunk. So we're going to step out to the right, pretty wide, not super duper wide. Again, making sure that our knees are over our feet, right? Right hand, left hand on top of the right. We're not open like this. We're sort of like a satellite dish, if you will, sort of folding them in just a little bit. So there's a little bit of space between my hands and my xiphoid process here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend over and breathe in and let the head sort of fall back as I roll around. I should be at the top of my breath right here, and then I'll use the sacred sound, aha. But it'll sound a lot like this. Ah. And then I'll breathe in again. Ah. And I might go forward in one direction, then I start to breathe in and go the opposite direction. Ah. Ah. And when I'm done, I simply come back up and step back in. All right, this next movement is touch the toes, or the longer names up there, but I just like to say touch the toes, it's a lot easier. So step out just a little bit, roughly shoulder distance apart, and begin by breathing in. The wrists are leading, the palms are down, then we're going to start to breathe in and breathe in, gather towards the chest. And then I'm going to start to bend forward from the hips slightly, and then I'm going to fling the hands out. As I do, I will use the sacred sound shui. So I'll say shui, and then let myself lower down. And then I will breathe in as I circle the arms 3 times. And then as I come up, my hands will be at my side, sort of tracing up, still breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. And I will press into my lower back, and I'll show you this in a second. And then my breath is still all exhale right now, so I'm holding the breath on the exhale. There's no air in my lungs right now. And I sort of have my chest out because I want to sort of be confident and bold, okay? And then I start again. And I breathe in. And exhale, shui. And then I breathe in. And breathe out. Pressing into the lower back, puffing out the chest a little bit. Still on that exhale, holding the exhale. And then I would repeat roughly 8 times or more. Now just for the back view so you can see it, when I'm coming up the back here, I'm just pushing in to my lower back, and I'm straightening the chest out. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm exuding confidence as opposed to fear. The shui noise is helping us shake off that which we fear. So, without my commentary, shui. Okay, this next one is punching with angry eyes. This helps us to soothe the liver and also ease eye strain. So I'm going to step out into a little bit wider martial stance. I'm still going to be up like this. My fists will be in, and I will begin by punching to the right, and then to the left, and then right center and left center. When I do this, I will keep a neutral face up until I punch and use the sacred sound shh, S-H-H, which soothes the liver. When I look that way, my eyes will then either, become sort of like the angry parent or the parent who means business, right? Open them up, or I'll, right? Because I want to exude that energy, get it out of my body, okay? So it begins by breathing in, and then we'll go 3 slow each side. That's 1 round. We do 3 slow. 1 more. This next round is fast. So it's going to look a lot more like this. And then as we finish, we breathe in, gathering up all that excess, and then we just really let it all drop out. So whatever excess we had, we're getting rid of it. And then we step back in. And so we only do 1 round of this because we're really doing 3 and then 6, and we're doing all different sides too. So there's a lot of use of that sacred sound. We're really trying to quiet, soothe, and calm the liver. This last movement is just jolting the body or shaking the body to shake away illness, right? There's a lot of science behind vibration in the body and what it does for us health-wise, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of breathe as you will. There's no certain breathing pattern here. We're just going to get up on the balls of our feet, and we're just going to, so I'm just letting it shake out. And I'm going to do 12 of these ideally, and then I'm going to start to jump a little bit to increase the shake. Another 12 or so. Then, placing my hands on my back, my lower back here, right about where the kidneys are, and I'm just going to and then the practice is completed. That is all 8 of the 8-section brocade.